This is my first Flowcast ever. It's a 45-minute unedited video of me skating around Riga center, crossing the bridge and going to the other side. And I don't expect you to watch everything. If you're a tourist, you can check the description below. I have marked the interesting parts for you to watch, and if you're interested in skating, I've done the same for you. The reason I'm making this special video is more that I have more time to speak and I can explain things about, why I make these videos, what the plans are ahead. So you get like a more sensible feeling of who I am and this kind of things. Because I do have some viewers, some subscribers, and I appreciate your feedback a lot, and I know you're following me, so I thought it was a good idea to give something back. So I can begin by telling my history as a skater. When I was a child, I played ice hockey all the time. I was obsessed with ice hockey. We only played outside. We did not have any ice rinks or these kind of things in my town. But in Norway, where I grew up, we have long winters, so at least 3 or 4 months a year, maybe 3 months. We had natural ice and we played all the time. I got my first rollerblades in 1994, and that year we went to Fort Knox, United States, Kentucky, for the summer. And there I was skating all the time with rollerblades, even did some rollerblade hockey and stuff with the locals there. But unfortunately the wheels back then were, I guess, very small, like 76mm or something, I don't know. But when I came back to Norway, where the asphalt, the surfaces are very bad, it wasn't really that much fun anymore. And then later, when I was a student, I lived in the west coast of Norway, where it's always rainy. They don't even have winters, it's on the coast, so it's like impossible to rollerblade. And I picked up rollerblading again when I was 2010, when I was in United States. I did summer school at Harvard. I lived across Charles River and across the business school, like 3 kilometers away from campus. And it was so boring to walk every day. And then one day I thought, okay, why not just buy rollerblades and go back and forth to school? Because rollerblades I can also bring back home after the summer school, whereas a bicycle I would need to leave back. So that was a very smart decision, and then I got obsessed with rollerblading. Then I went to Singapore for a short while, a few months. There I was rollerblading all the time in East Coast Park. And yeah, I like the climate. Most people don't like the climate there, but I didn't mind 35 degrees and humidity. I liked it. The sun I didn't like too much though, so that's why I usually went in the morning. And then I went back to the US. I interned on Manhattan, New York, one summer, and every day I commuted across the entire Central Park. I lived on 116th Street, like on the edge of Harlem. It's not the best area, but it's not too bad either. And I worked right southwest of the park. So I just went through the park. What's it called, Columbus Circle, whatever. We had the Trump Tower there, we had like some big CNN signs. And that was sort of a nice thing to do in the morning, instead of taking the transport, the subway. So it was like a win-win. I got for free, I got good health, and had a good morning workout. And I also was lucky enough to have a shower at work. And then after work, the same thing. After being in front of the computer all day, it was very nice to skate. And then also in Latvia I've been skating a lot, so for the last 5 years or so, 5-6 years, I've been rollerblading a lot. And what I learned playing hockey as a child, I still have with me. Things, when you learn like these kind of skills, you never forget. And that's really great. Oh yeah, I have to comment on this surface here. So this is the National Museum, I think. It's just been renovated. There are lots of new renovations in Riga. And what they put here on the surface, I don't know what it is, some kind of stone. And it feels really good. It's kind of grippy, but also slippery at the same time. So I need to go back there, definitely, and like really try it out, get a feeling of it. But now I think it's time to listen to some music. First up on the list is Mountain Dub by Gunnar Olsen. I should talk a bit about why I bother making these videos. And the short answer is it's fun. It's fun to bring a camera and like make a log of my workouts, how my technique progress, all these kind of things. And generally just knowing how to... Okay, 1 second. This is the Russian Orthodox Cathedral. You cannot see that clearly here, but the roof is actually paved with real gold. I think it was a real estate mogul who paid for this. So it's like, you know, it's like this plate gold. It's just a thin layer, but still it must be expensive. And it's very beautiful, so thumbs up to those people. Yeah, so what I was talking about, why I make these videos. Yeah, so apart from, you know, just being fun to record, it's also a good skill to have, I guess. Knowing how to edit videos, film, photography. So whatever I learned from making these videos, I can bring on to other aspects of life. But you know, it would be really cool though, to make a real inline skating channel, only about inline skating, that actually gains some momentum, you know. But, you know, to get a lot of viewers, you have to have some kind of twist. You have to add some value to your viewers. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, I could try to make like this kind of aggressive action movies, but there's no way I would beat the professionals. So in a way, I would take away value for you by wasting your time. So that's why I've been trying, you know, to make more of these kind of funny videos where I experiment by taking off some wheels or rockering the wheels, you know, in all sort of crazy ways. And you know, if you have some ideas to other moves I can make on that format, that would be cool. Because I don't know, I got good feedback on those. And of course, tutorials, the kind of techniques I do well, I guess I can teach to others. And also from my own. You know, from my own experience, I watched, when I want to learn something, I watch several videos, you know, and everyone teaches a little bit differently, and then I pick up a little bit from everyone, and the more videos there were, the better. And I also try to make my videos as to the point as possible, as quick as possible, not to waste people's time, with this video being, well, the exception to the rule. Is more like, I just want to make a get to know me better video for my subscribers. Okay, I think it's time for Song number 2, New Tires by Silent Partner. Just past the Freedom Monument, and it's kind of the heart of Latvia in a way. And behind me, you will see in 1 second, is the old town. It's the oldest part, of course. It's like more medieval. There's nice churches there, and no traffic, but also cobblestone, so it's not really that good for skating. Yeah, I can tell you some more about editing, what I use for editing. So far I've been using Windows Movie Maker, and everyone who knows something about editing, they always say it's such a bad program and these kind of things, but it worked very well for me so far, and now I feel like I outgrown it. The problem with Movie Maker is that it's just too basic. So for example, if I have 2 cameras, one of them has a good audio, the other has bad audio, I would like to always use the audio from the good one, obviously. But with Movie Maker it's not possible. And that should be a very basic thing to have in a movie editor. The other thing about Movie Maker is actually that the settings are stupid, like when it comes to saving a clip. So you cannot choose the format, but thankfully there was a setting to choose bitrate, so I was using... I took the best setting they had for HD display, and then I added the bitrate. Just because, you know, even the standard setting was crap. But I could not change the format, and the problem is that the video I have on my computer is a lot better than the video that you see on YouTube. Especially, you know, on the ground, the asphalt or the bricks, they will always look like a bit like... I don't know, there are some artifacts that really look bad on YouTube. And I don't know if that's because of my... or the format. It could be. That means that it's time to upgrade. And today I'm actually going to pick up a new laptop. A new laptop with a much better video card. Which means I can actually finally start using a better editor. So on my list there are 2 that I will try out. It's DaVinci Studio and Hitman Express. If someone has a better suggestion, please let me know. Because this is everything is new to me, and there are so many different video editors. So I better learn a good one to begin with. Here in this park is one of the few places with hills in Riga. It's unbelievably how flat this country is, especially Riga. Everything is like a delta. There's the big river, you will see in 5 minutes. And Sentiments from the River has actually built up Riga, so it's like flat as a pancake. Except this tiny little park. And even the smallest hill can give you very high speeds on rollerblades. And if you're not able to control your speeds, it can be very dangerous. So one of the videos I want to make is, I plan it for maybe next week, is to how to roll on grass. It's the best emergency stop, in my opinion. Because if you lose control, and you're going downhill, you have too much speed and you cannot control it. And there is some grass on the side, you can always just jump on the grass and you will just roll off your speed and stop that way in a safe manner. But if you know how to T-stop, also called drag stop or slalom stop, when you do that well, you basically will do that to slow down, and you can slow down pretty steep hills. The grass stop is basically an emergency stop. Although some people like Shop Task, you should watch Shop Task, it's a very nice channel, very good channel I would say to learn inline skating. Because the guy, I can't remember his name, he's been skating all his life. He runs a shop in it's Calgary, Canada, and he like films himself, you know, like this, and then he talks about, you know, all the technical parts, and I learned a lot from him. So, you know, if I would recommend one channel, it would be this, I guess. However, if you're into entertainment and you have authentic rollerblade, they are professional productions with the professional skaters, like lots of action and stuff like that. But if you want a one-man channel, I recommend Bill Stoppard. I think his channel is called Pinto Pony Productions. But just go search on YouTube for Bill Stoppard. Even inline skating or rollerblading, I'm sure he's like on the top 10, and you'll find his channel. It's really entertaining. And he's made videos for years. So like this summer, when I discovered him, I was like watching his videos like non-stop for a week. Very good productions and very good skating, so it's really cool. He's from Toronto, by the way. Well, other channels I can recommend is one is James McKay. I really like his style that he's like experimenting. I really like that, like he's wearing two different skates or like very rocket setup. You know, the same things that I kind of wanna try. He's doing it too, so I definitely am subscribed to him, and I always appreciate his videos. I watch like Singapore Skater, another one. He also skates around Singapore, and he talks about, you know, all the practicalities about skating, and it shows how he progresses, and it's very interesting to follow. Other skaters are, let's see, Ed Stu. Unfortunately, he doesn't upload much at the moment, but I appreciate his videos. And Dom's Blading as well. He doesn't really upload videos anymore. And yeah, from France, Paris, Thiago Inline Skater, I think his channel is called. Just search for Thiago Inline Skating or something like that, you'll find him. He has the best footwork I've ever seen. So he has like these small skates, and he can do slaloming and stuff. And also his productions are very good. And his narration. So, you know, he's French, he has a French accent, but that's just cool. It makes it, you know, it fits, so that's very nice. And if you know other channels, please just write a comment. Here I'm approaching the National, what's it called? The National Theatre? I think it's the National Theatre. But anyway, it's a very nice building. And there are lots of these buildings in Riga. I heard that it has the biggest concentration of Art Nouveau buildings in the world, even more than Paris or St. Petersburg. I don't know if it's true, but at least there are so many buildings, you know, just like this, with all kind of sculptures and art and And it's even, you know, even after I've been here for 5 years, you know, I can still just walk on the streets and I can always notice some new details on the buildings. So it's kind of cool that you walk in the city and everything is a piece of art. So however the system or however society was in that period, it was, they really had sense of beauty that unfortunately is kind of rare in the world. But fortunately for us, all the buildings are still like in their original shape, and even after World War II they put them back together like they originally were. So that's just all I have to say about Art Nouveau. I think it's time for some more music. And you know, all the music you're listening to is copy free. So there are people who create really good music and they let the world use it for free. We don't, no copyright, no royalties, anything. And I don't even need to attribute them. But of course it's a good thing to acknowledge their hard work. And the name of the next song is Up Above by Letterbox. So a guy asked me whether he should buy tri-skates or not. And all I can say is my impression of tri-skates is that they do not have the same speed as 4x100mm wheels that I'm wearing now. That could just be my experience, I don't know. And I have a theory why maybe tri-skates are better for small people than for heavier people. And it's like if I wear tri-skates, I say I wear 90 kilos, I'm not, but just assume I wear, then each wheel when I'm standing on my leg has a load of 30 kilos. Now imagine next to me there's another guy, he's 120 kilos. I don't know how many pounds, like 200 pounds or something. If he were standing on regular skates, he would have a load of 30 kilos, the same as I would have on my tri-skates. You see? So basically I'm like torturing my skates, my tri-skates, as if I were a 120 kilo guy on regular skates. And what that actually means, I think the wheels, they flatten a little bit, always. It's just because they're elastic. And then I put all my load on 3 wheels, then they just flatten too much and that causes friction. Likewise the bearings, they are tortured, everything. There's more load on everything when you have tri-skates. And if you are big, then you just notice this effect a lot more than if you are small. And I said I'm not 90, well, truth told, I'm almost 90, so I just used the number 90 because it's divided by 3 to be 30, so it's easier to use an example. But that said, I still use tri-skates, but I just use them for more like aggressive skating, cardio. Oh yeah, by the way, down here I'm slaloming. Almost slowing completely by slaloming, I'm happy with that, so I drag off at the end and then finally a spin. It's the biggest hill in Riga. Seriously, I think it's the biggest hill. It's not really much of a hill though. That's just how flat it is here. So, like I earlier said, that if you don't know how to brake, just use the grass. Don't be afraid to go on the grass. It's like one of the first skills you should learn. Because right there, if I did not control my speed, I could get hit by a car and it could be dramatic. If I just go on the grass, you know, nothing bad happens. In the worst case, I just fall on the grass. Yeah, so a bit more about tri-skates. If you watch my videos, I first tried it out with 110mm wheels. They're great. The speed is just not that high, it takes some more energy to maintain speed, but they turn very well, extremely well. So all the technique stuff is very good, except accelerations. Big wheels, they just don't accelerate well. I think it's just you need so much more rotational energy to get them up in speed. And that's why it's like kind of feels more like slow and fluid when you have big wheels. And then in another video I tried 84mm tri-skates, and hell yeah, it's the best ever. Seriously, it's like sprints, the turns, all of these things are so good with tri-skates with small wheels. But then again, it was just going 1 kilometer to the park was like draining my energy. So when I finally went to the park after this 1 kilometer, I kind of had to take a 5-minute break. It's a trade-off. Sometimes I will use tri-skates just because it's fun. Tri-skates with small wheels. With big wheels I don't see the fun. But I notice other people around, they really like the 125mm wheels, so in the end it's all about your personal preferences. Okay, you cannot see it here, but I had green lights. The bus had come to a full stop. And that's something I always look out for, that I don't cross before the drivers have stopped 100%. Even if I have green lights, I always make sure that they stop. Maybe it's different in other countries that people actually follow the rules, but here it's just too frequent that drivers, they can be drunk, or you never know. Yeah, so here I'm going over the grass. It wasn't an emergency, it was just a necessity. Otherwise I would have to go like 200 meters to turn. And going on the grass isn't that bad. So, no, why not? In front of me now is the Z Tower. It's one of the most exclusive buildings. It's been under construction for ages. I remember when I came here 5 years ago, it was under construction, and still today it is. But at least now it has a full glazing, so it looks very nice from the outside. And the entire area around here is new. I mean, not the new area, but all the roads, all the paths, all the bike paths, everything. And it makes for a good skate. Keep good speed here. And here I'm trying the double push. I don't even know if I'm doing the double push, but I kind of try to put start the stride on the outer edge. And then I end on the inside edge, of course, and then flick with the toe a little bit. So I don't think it's actually proper double push, but I do use this technique anyway when I try to just keep speed for a long time, or try to be as efficient as possible getting over a long distance. Now I think I soon will do a power stop, if I remember correctly. This was quite a big distance. Yeah, here it comes. Always good to do a power stop. It feels great. It's like this technique where you just have to commit. So between you commit and I don't know, 0.3 seconds later, it's like you're just in this slide. You're in it just feels good. If you haven't learned it, you should practice. Just wear knee pads and wear wrist guards. And, you know, wear everything. Kind of out of words right now, I don't know what to say. So that makes time for some music. Creepin' by MK2. Here on the riverbank there's a nice park. It's quite difficult to find, very difficult to get to even if you know where it is, so there are very few people here. And I appreciate that they built a park like this, so I can get it all by myself. I'm taking it very slow today, because I go out long distance, and I need to preserve energy, and it doesn't make for the best videos. And frankly, I'd be surprised if anyone even watches at this point. Here I tried to do something funny, go on the playground, but believe it or not, there were some people there already. At least it was a woman at the other side looking at it, and I didn't want to feel ridiculous skating on a playground. Because I know that the surface there is some kind of plastic and it makes an enormous resistance. So the skating will look very slow, very weird. It's kind of fun, you know, to try new materials and stuff, new surfaces. And yeah, I didn't tell in the video last week when I was going on track and field or whatever it's called, like this red surface where they run in circle, oval, circle thing. I don't know the word for it, but I guess you know what I mean. It's like in the Olympics around football fields, you have this red track, maybe it's just called track. And skating on it was very weird. It was like this enormous resistance, and you know, I could sprint, but I could not do anything less than sprint, because then I would just stop. Okay, here I am at the end of the, what's it called, embankment, and there we have a Riga sign, like this big Riga letters. And the story about, okay, first I'll tell you about this guy. So he's on an electric scooter, and he wanted to race, and racing I did. But you know, maybe it's like not nice to, you know, park those small kids, but when you're on an electric device and you don't use your body, You deserve to lose. Being young doesn't make an excuse. No, it's a cool scooter. I don't judge anyone. I think it's a lot better to be out on your electric scooter than being in front of the computer playing video games. So, no judgment there, but yeah, still, it's an electric scooter. So, about this sign. It has a very strange story. So, this was originally on the highway at the entrance to Riga. It was put out by the municipality next to the road. And the language center, which is a government institution, they did not approve of this sign. So they even fined Riga, or the mayor of Riga or something like that, for putting up this sign because it violated the language rules. So technically, in the Latvian alphabet, which is similar to the English alphabet, except they have some lines over some letters or some, I don't know, some tiny differences. You need a long line over the I, and the heart is not a line. So in the mind of the bureaucrats, this was a violation of the traffic laws or the sign laws or something like that, and then they fined Riga municipality for this sign. So it has a nice story. So talking about regulations, so this electric scooter has an upper limit of 20 kilometers an hour. I think at least electric bikes have an upper limit of 20 kilometers an hour. It's a European Union legislation. So racing him is very easy. Just need to go at like 21 kilometers, very slow and steady and stuff, and there's no way he can overtake me. Still, your muscles are better than machines, because machines are crippled by bureaucrats. So now I'm on the way, on the last part of the trip, to the National Library. I'll just hold on for a few more seconds. I'll be at the end of the park, and then there are some roads, and then I did not know where to go. Okay, so skating now is not that interesting, so let's talk about something else. Let's talk about... If you have any idea, leave a comment. Well, it doesn't make sense, because the video is already made when you watch it. Yes, that was a joke, I'm not that stupid. Or maybe I am, who knows. So obviously this will be my last flowcast of this kind ever. I mean, at least if I expect to talk during the entire thing, then I don't really have enough to talk about for such a long time. But if someone actually listens, watches at this point, please let me know. I have a special code for you. X502975622CWT5. So just write this code in the comment, and then I will know someone is watching at this point. No, just joking. Or actually, I'm not joking. No, but the thing though is at some point it would be very cool to make like maybe a 20 minutes high intensity flowcast. Because you know, what's the point of watching this video? Maybe if you are interested in skating exactly this route, you can just fast forward the video, so you know the obstacles, you know what to look out for and these kind of things. But other than that, I try to keep my videos short. I try to have a point. Every video should tell a story, that's my philosophy. They should answer a question, or they should entertain you in some way, they should stimulate your mind in some way. And I have like a clear, concise thing to tell in the video, and it should go straight to the point. YouTube is not television. Television, we're slow. They could, you know, people are watching, and at least even if they skip channels, they still have some patience. But on YouTube, people have zero patience at all. So that's why, for example, when I make the tutorial, I want to, you know, show exactly what's about during the first 3 seconds. Every second counts. Of course, I'm not a recognized video editor yet, and I have a lot to learn, but at least that's my philosophy at this point, and that's what I will try to aim for in every single video I ever make, except today. Today is an exception. Today is an exceptional day. It's just my long skate across town to pick up my new laptop so I can start editing better videos. So it has a purpose. Now, waiting for red lights is especially entertaining. I guess you never wait for red lights in your city, because you don't have any lights there. But this is what it feels like. You can watch traffic, you can count cars, count colors, brands. Oh, look at that, this is big, it's a big car, it's a minibus. Another minibus, wow, 2 minibuses. Can you see any taxi? That's a taxi, wasn't it? Yeah. This is a question I still haven't answered. I need an answer for this. Because when it comes to taxis, when they put a light on the roof, on the taxi, it means they are available for customers, isn't it? So they put on the light to attract customers. It makes sense. It's like this everywhere in the world. It's universal, because it just makes sense. But in Riga, it's the opposite. If they have the lights on the roof, it means they're taken. If they don't have the light on, then they may be taken. But if they have the lights on, it means they have passengers inside. It doesn't make sense at all, does it? And I tried for 5 years to understand the logic behind it. I still haven't figured it out. So, locals, please let me know, and people in other cities, just please tell me how it works where you live. And I guess this is the proof that someone actually watches at this point. If someone actually answers this thing about taxis, I don't know what to say, but yeah, you just wasted 45 minutes of your time. I'm very not proud of that. Okay, so this is the National Library. It's been under construction for, I don't know, 20 years, and they finally finished it. Except they didn't figure out how to clean it, so basically that's the final step, to just clean it. Which I need to do constantly because of the road. And on the other side, the railroad that carries charcoal. This is the trick of the day. It's not that impressive, but it's actually worse than it looks, because it's not horizontal, and I had to be very careful not to slip. Although it's like not the tallest thing. If you fall, you fall. It's always fucking painful. Pavement is nice. There are some gaps between the stones that you need to be careful about, but otherwise it felt very, very smooth. And I think I watched a Latvian aggressive skater doing some really nice tricks. Right here. Should look up that. My tricks of the day are non-existent. And in a second, something I'm very ashamed of, I will reveal, because no one is watching. That's the thing that I cannot, well, that I can do, well, very impressive. But what I was trying to tell you is that I cannot go downstairs. I don't know how to go downstairs, I've never done it. So, yeah, that's one step, but it doesn't count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam. Okay, I saw it coming. It was the best I could do to stop that. And it's funny, you know, with everything. If before you learn it, you cannot really do it, no matter how simple it is. So these stairs should be, you know, very simplest stairs in the world. One day I'll do that. Learn how to do some baby stairs. And now we're running out of time, finally, because I'm out of words, I'm out of breath, I'm out of energy, I'm out of everything. And actually talking, narrating this clip was more exhausting than the actual skate itself. Yet another reason I will make my videos shorter in the future. Anyway, that gave you kind of like a feeling of who I am a bit more, I guess. I hope. This is ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't fall. I did technically do the stairs. And there I'm finishing up. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay with me. Thank you.